Greetings, wrestling fans. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. And here are your hosts, the Hot Pockets impresario, Johnny Bottles, and the neckbeard psychologist, Dr. Don Wayne. Greetings, wrestling fans. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast.
She's got
here
a
are your
voice so
hosts,
nice, I like to hear it twice.
the Hot Pockets impresario,
Nope.
Johnny Bottles, and the neckbeard psychologist, Dr. Don Wayne.
We're here.
Greetings.
Let's go. I got shit to say.
It's the wonder of AI, Don. The magic of artificial intelligence. I wish I had artificial intelligence. If I only had a brain. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Johnny Bottles. Welcome to the Square Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. Like the young lady said, to my left is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist from Twitter, who's got a lot to say on the subject of contract talks, negotiations, ratings for Rampage, ratings for Collision, AEW Dynamite projected card for tomorrow night, what happened on Raw, what happened on Smackdown. Another show from the past is coming to an NBC network. Cats and dogs living together. Somebody's coming.
What do you want me to be to make you sleep with me? I can't wait. I'm so excited. Smackdown kicked off this week back on USA Network. Thanks for watching again. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. Hit the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. Smackdown was back, and we have been saying forever. We've been saying it forever. You got to give me something. Have they been saving storylines? They haven't really been hitting home with anything. There hasn't been a whole lot to enjoy. It's sort of been blah. They started off with a steel cage match to get your attention this week on Friday Night SmackDown. Got my attention real quick. But there are some problems with what I saw, and this is just me. I was wondering your opinion. Cody Rhodes, I think, could wrestle with the broomstick if he had to. Solo Sikoa, I've got issues about. Like Junior said from The Sopranos, he never had the makings of a varsity athlete. He just, sometimes, man, he's missing shit, and I don't get it. The simplest shit. It drives me crazy sometimes. I enjoyed SmackDown. But there was really only one key sort of start-to-finish storyline throughout that everybody was really watching. You know what I mean? I know you were paying attention to it.
Yes.
Of course, Cody Rhodes wins. He beat Solo Sikoa.
Of course.
Out comes the Bloodline to beat the shit out of him, as we knew would be the way, because that is the way of the Force. Mm-hmm. This is how it's going to happen.
Absolutely. And
it was announced before the show Roman Reigns would be in attendance. He would be in the building. I keep holding out hope that we're going to see the Fat Man return because I can't wait to see him. When Paul Heyman comes back, the place is going to blow apart. But out came Roman Reigns. They cleared house. They kind of looked at each other like, yeah, we're working together, but neither one of us really likes each other. And I don't mind that. That's sort of an old school throwback part, you know? Mm-hmm. And this was really the theme of the show. This was, will they or won't they throughout the entire show on SmackDown, which, by the way, SmackDown on USA Network debuted back at like 1.73 million.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you expect coming from network. You don't expect them to pop a $2 million or 2 million crowd coming from network because it's just not going to happen. Let's be honest. But I was surprised that 250,000 to 300,000 fans didn't follow SmackDown over to USA Network, which really is alarming. It tells you how many people really are dropping out of cable television altogether, or they're finding another way to watch it to where Nielsen isn't getting the recordings right away. At least that's just how I look at it. How do you look at it?
I look at it the same way. In this age of streaming, everybody's getting their content differently. A lot of people are watching stuff on their phones, which I can't understand. But if you're working, if you're, you don't have a TV, an extra TV in your house, you're in your bedroom, you're a kid, your parents take your TV away from you or what have you, you're going to watch it on your phone, like a million AEW, well, not even a million AEW viewers.
Easy killer.
There's no such thing as a million AEW viewers.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time. They were out in the wild once, pal. I think they got a hold of some poison Cheetos out there in the wild, and they died off little by little.
Something's going on.
Something's going on. Something big is happening. Man, it's not a TV contract.
250,000.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will.
I think as soon as people realize, oh, that's right, it's on USA this week, SmackDown's numbers will go back up.
I don't know if
Especially
they'll
with
ever
Roman
hit
Reigns
2
back.
million again. I think they'll be pretty happy with 1.75 million. I really do. That's just my opinion.
You'd have to go and break down how many houses the USA Network is in, how many streaming services like Sling, Hulu, YouTube TV, Fubo. Is it Fubo or Fubo? I don't freaking know. Have the USA Network bundled in their package.
Is it bundled?
So,
is it in my bundled package?
I got
my package.
Is my package bundled? I've got it taped up like Solo Sikoa's thumb.
I got a package, pal. Anyway, that was how it started. They get backstage, and the GM is asking Cody Rhodes to team up with Roman Reigns at the next PLE, or I think it's the next PLE, right? That they want him to team up.
Bad blood.
Cody says,
yes, bad blood.
Yeah, he says, I can't do that. That's just, I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. Close the show out. Roman Reigns is in the ring. He's getting surrounded. Lo and behold, the White Knight returns. Cody Rhodes changes his mind and signs the contract. And I heard the Roman Reigns fan base head explode simultaneously. This is the last thing they wanted to see. They hate everything about this. The diehard Roman Reigns fans are coming unglued about this entire thing. I don't know if I'm happier that it's pissing them off or that I'm seeing the two biggest stars in the company come together to have a match. Call me crazy.
All right. Let me ask you this question, Don. Who's the biggest star in wrestling? Is it Cody
Right
Rhodes
now.
or is it Roman Reigns?
I think Roman Reigns is the biggest star in wrestling.
Okay.
What's your next question?
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, no, I think Roman Reigns is. I don't think, again, we've talked about this on the show. People losing their shit. He's got to have the title. He's got to have the title. It doesn't work that way. You put the title on a guy to elevate him to get to a Cody Rhodes type level. Eventually, you get to that level where it's no longer needed. You can involve them in other storylines. Now, it will probably eventually get back to him, but right now I feel like the big build for WrestleMania Night 1 has got to be The Rock versus Roman. That's just how I see it personally. Or maybe even Night 2.
You throw a title with a guy to elevate the guy, like you said. However, there are rare occasions where you have a guy elevate a title, much like Gunther did with the Intercontinental title, made it the hottest ticket, the second hottest ticket when Raw. So
it can work both ways. Right now, they're trying to make Cody a household name, trying to make him an everyday star. I think it's working. I think they're going in the right direction. I know a lot of people don't like Cody. It doesn't matter. The kids love him, and the parents take him to see him.
Yes,
that's the bottom line.
The kids love Cody Rhodes.
1.73. So that was SmackDown. I enjoyed it.
Right.
Nothing about that was embarrassing. I enjoyed the show. However, we do got to talk about Raw next. Let me get my little notebook up here so I can read it.
The notebook.
What did you overall? What did you think of Raw? Just overall, before we get into the details and the
buddy.
What
let
happened?
Me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm going to talk about the production of Raw.
Man, I was going to talk about that first.
Buddy, I marvel at the production of Raw every week. I feel like I'm watching a 3-hour movie about professional wrestling. The way it's shot, the different camera angles, they're thinking outside the box. The crowd is as much a part of the show now as it ever was, especially as projectiles. But we'll talk about that in a minute. The sound quality of the show has gone up for some reason. I don't know what they tweaked. I don't know what this new director and head of production have done. It's phenomenal. And I still say the second coming of Mean Gene Okerlund is
I want to get to that. I want to get to
Joe Tessitore.
I want to. That's okay.
He's got that honey bourbon twang in his voice like Mean Gene Okerlund had when he was a young man doing commentary. And he did do commentary for a while before he just strictly became an announcer and interviewer. But Joe Tessitore is the effing guy, dude. And someone said that's who said that sock face from
that was Tony
Excalibur?
Schiavone. Tony Schiavone said that.
A befuddled, senile old man who's got too much hair. I think the hair dye is rotting his brain. The beard dye and the hair dye it's cooked his brain. Same thing with Meltzer. He's got Meltzer's hair dye in his hair. Schiavone said that Excalibur is head and shoulders above Joe Tessitore.
Yes.
Horse shit. Horseshit.
Let me get to this. This is what I wrote to open the show with what I watched on Raw, which, by the way, we praised Joe Tessitore when he first came out. Last week, or to start the show, Joe Tessitore and the opening segment for the show was over 3 minutes, and it set the entire stage for what you were going to see as it happened. The entire opening, and he didn't, and I like Adam Cole, don't get me wrong, but I think he's got a lot of that old Vince McMahon in him from back in the day where he tried to rush to a lot of stuff. Joe Tessitore.
Adam Cole.
I'm sorry. Not Adam Cole, but sorry. Yeah, Adam Cole from SmackDown. Michael Cole. Sorry. Michael Cole. I'm trying to get through
Adam Cole is living in
I know. I forgot.
He's living in a cardboard refrigerator box in Pennsylvania somewhere out in the woods, trying to get a signal.
I wrote this down fast because I was trying to capture my thoughts. So Michael Cole goes through this a lot of times really fast, and it feels like he's got Vince McMahon in his ear sometimes still, and he's got PTSD from Vince McMahon screaming at him, "God damn it, pal! I said push the damn commercial!" Like it just
you
feels
son of
like
a bitch, you ruined it. That's what he said to Renee Moxley Young. You son of a bitch, you ruined it. You ruined it. Then she cried and put her headset down and walked off.
So sorry. Michael Cole, not Adam Cole. I apologize. Names are not my thing. We know this by now. If I get half the name right, give me 5 points. Joe Tessitore started this. Coleslaw. I'll call him Coleslaw. Joe Tessitore was smooth. He opened this nice and slow. He set up the story. He told you what everybody's issue was, why they were there. I enjoyed everything about his opening. It was absolutely butter. Nothing he said was wrong. And then when it opens up, CM Punk right out the gate, here he comes. He's going to have this crowd popping. And I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice when he came out what he did not do this time as he made it to the ring?
He didn't walk over to Samantha Irvin?
That's not it at all. But he
didn't walk over to the announce desk and shake everybody's hand?
That is not it either.
They didn't play a Taco Bell commercial in the middle of his promo package?
Well, that's not going to happen unless you're at AEW.
He
didn't do the part where he gets down on one knee and screams it's clobbering time. He was serious. This was going to be a serious promo. He set the tone when he came out. He didn't interact with the fans. It was going to be a serious moment with him. And I was like, this is different. The entire way it was shot, like you said, I like that opening walk through the back so you can see how it goes. It's a really cool angle. It's a really cool production value. The other part that I've been hearing about a lot on Twitter and the social medias, I don't know what his original song was or whatever the hell it was in Ohio Valley or whatever the hell he was in, Ring of Honor.
ROH.
Yep. The Fire Below or some shit. I don't care what his song was. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. People are asking him to bring that back. No, don't bring that dumb shit back. You have the Cult of Personality for a reason. It's an iconic song. Don't bring back some indie group bullshit. This is mainstream stuff right here. Don't bring back a group that can't sell out more than 8,000 tickets in an arena in their best day. I don't know what this song is. I don't care. I know what Cult of Personality is. So does just about everybody else.
It's iconic. It's an iconic song.
It is.
From the 90s. It really is. So, well, actually from the 80s, I believe. Are those guys that old? Living Color?
I think it's early 90s, like 92-ish.
I think you're right. Are they that old? They got to be 60 now. Good Lord.
Well, I don't want to talk about that, Bottles.
All right, pal. What do you want to talk about, pal?
I want to talk about how the CM Punk chant was going. And did you notice how he was talking to the crowd?
Yes. He was very serious. He wasn't joking around with anything. He was talking about his wife didn't want him to do this. His family didn't want him to do it. Even Larry the dog doesn't want him to do it. But
did you notice by the way, thank you, Chat 1989. By the way, Super Chat's open. If you got something to say or you want to criticize it, let us know. But yes, it was serious, but it was also how he spoke. He wasn't excited. He wasn't coming at you like a live action hero. He was very soft spoken. It was very Jake the Snake like to me. He made you listen and tune in and lean in. Like he's talking some serious shit right now. Like this is serious what he's saying. He said
like he's dreading. It's like he's dreading going into this thing, but he's got to do it.
Yes, but he's got to do it.
He's got to do it.
And I like that he makes a promise. I'm going to make you bleed, and I'm prepared to die. And then that was it. No going to the ropes, no playing to the crowd. Serious moment, serious segment. I thought this was brilliant. 5 stars. That's the only way I can put it. 5 stars.
Who was missing on Raw? It was conspicuous. Who was not there?
I don't know. Talking about McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre.
I think they said he'd be on next week. He was separated, I believe, as the off-screen angle. They can't touch until Bad Blood. They can't be in the same building until Bad Blood.
CM Punk is going to be on NXT tonight.
Is that the Chicago show? I thought that was October.
That's October. No, he's going to be on NXT tonight.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So I wouldn't be surprised if McIntyre shows up to NXT tonight for a ratings pop. But they announced it last night that CM Punk is going to be on NXT. I don't think they announced it enough, but they did. They put a promo package, a promo shot, of him coming to NXT.
Look at you paying attention and bringing something to the table. I did not know that. Good job, Johnny Bottles.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. I am trying hard. Go ahead.
The Sheamus segment was next. He said, don't call him Butch. You and I talked about Sheamus when he first came back. We weren't really sold on what he was doing when he first came back. He wasn't really over with us. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. This is some of the best work he's ever done. This is some of the best work he's ever done. Everything tell me.
I'll tell you why. Because the heat's not on him. The heat's not on Sheamus. He's there right now to put guys over and to put on great matches the way he wants to. There's no pressure on Sheamus to fight for a spot. He knows what his niche in the company is right now as a guy in his mid to late 40s, who is in the swan song of his career, the tail end of his career, and he's there to put guys over like Dunne and whoever else he wrestles, make them look good, shine them up. He realizes that, and if he stays with the company, they probably would give him a job for life.
I want to tell you something about that. Just announced earlier today or yesterday, I didn't read which day.
Extension.
Sheamus has signed a multi-year extension. He's not going anywhere for a while. He's enjoying what he's doing right now. I'm glad what he's doing right now. He's wrestling Butch, which is getting the crowd over. I thought that was good. Also noticed Pete Dunne. I love this. I did notice something about Sheamus I wanted to ask you about. Did you notice? Let me see what I wrote down in my notes. He is beat to shit. He has got cuts and bruises all over his body. I swear to God, did you see his right bicep? It looks like he's either got a staph infection trying to set in or some crazy-ass scar that they need to really let heal before he gets back in the ring. Did you notice that?
It's probably like a bruise or some sort, a bad bone bruise.
It was an open sore. Like, it was huge.
Could be ring rash, rope rash. It didn't stop him from doing the 10 beats of the Bahrain, pal.
It did not. I will give you that.
No.
I like this match for what it was. Mm-hmm. The only thing I didn't like about this match was when, was it the Shillelagh or whatever it was, got in the ring?
Yes.
And
that's like a throwback to the Vince McMahon era. Why would you bring a Shillelagh to a gunfight?
I don't care.
Why wouldn't you have brass knuckles?
I don't care. That doesn't bother me. What bothered me was that the ref pointed at it like a feckless moron, like, oh, are you going to pick that up? Oh, please don't pick that up, Mr. Sheamus. That could be bad. Oh, God. Horrible.
Not.
Yes, it was horrible. And
yes. It's always bad when the ref turns into Don Knotts.
Yeah, it was dumb as shit. Out of nowhere, Pete Dunne gets a cricket bat, whacks the shit out of him. And I don't know how you use a cricket bat, but when he hit him with it, I don't think that's how you do that. I don't think he just ran back and popped that shit on the
waffled. He probably, you better lay it in, pal. Lay it in, pal. Lay it in, brother. He probably said to him backstage, don't be shy with the cricket bat, brother.
I like this. I was shocked at this ending. I thought Sheamus was going to win. Pete Dunne won. I was like, well, look at that. They're keeping it interesting. They're building something here. I can get down with this. I like this.
Did you think when that bat connected that Sheamus was really out?
He didn't hit him in the head. He hit him in the left arm and like down his left side. It just looked like it was uncomfortable as shit.
Yeah.
Just there's a lot of ways to get hit with it. That's not the way I ever want to get hit. I'm gonna waffle the shit out of you, son. Oh, I play cricket, you know. Then we get the Judgment Day with Uso, and out of nowhere, comes Xavier Woods. So I kind of like how all these different dynamics are falling into place with each other. You've got all these different factions feuding with each other. Mm-hmm. I like this show so far. Call me crazy. I enjoyed it. I thought this was a great use of the talent.
Talents talking to each other just like they would back in the locker room. Hey, stay out of my business, and I'll stay out of yours. You know, that sort of thing. So.
Right. So far, I was enjoying the hell out of this. I was if I had to go to the restroom, it was a pause break. Like, it wasn't, I'll go pee and catch up. I got to see what happens next. Strowman and the Miz.
I got a big cup.
I could look at you. Strowman and the Miz backstage. That's sort of a weird segment. I don't know where that's going. Miz is asking him, what did you mean it's going to take a monster? Wasn't really sure about that. Natalia's match was...
Don't tell me it's going to be a little tag team, a future tag team of Strowman.
God, I hope not.
And The Miz. Hey, you see Strowman's bicep?
What do you mean?
Did you see Strowman's bicep?
I didn't notice it. Was something wrong?
Black, blue, and purple, pal. On his
right
bicep.
I missed that.
He looks bad. That thing looks bad. But he was back.
Well, he's in there fighting a monster later on. I can't wait to talk about that, but yeah. I'll have to check that out next time. Natalia came out, I'm not going to lie, when her music hit, I popped because I thought Bret Hart was in the building. And then I got so sad so fast. I was so upset when it was her. I was like, oh, man.
I think when she was out, she had some more vinyl pumped into her body, some more plastic. Good Lord. She looks rubberized, dude. It's something about her face and her boobs when she comes out. She looks like she's made out of rubber. Maybe it's my TV, Don.
It's very Beverly Hills looking.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say about it. She wins the match. I'm not going to get too far into this. I did note the new outfit. I thought that was cool that she had a pretty different look for herself for now.
That was good.
I always enjoy when they come out in different... Oh, and so did Zoe Stark. She had a different outfit.
She did have a different outfit on. They're trying to, I don't know, with the Pure Tuna Collective. They're trying to jazz those chicks up a little bit.
But they keep losing. Why are they losing?
Well, somebody's got to take a loss in these matches, Don.
But you need to put over the new... I don't get it. I'm not going to get too far into this. Whatever.
I don't know. They're there in their mid-card niche to take up space and do what mid-carders do. That's their niche. Will they become tag team champions? No. You see those three, any combination of those three, beating up Bianca and Jade. I don't see it.
I'm glad you said that because we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Possibly. We'll see. Then we get the Rhea backstage segment. Balor interrupts, says she's selfish, rare to... And that's what I wrote down. It's rare to see a man and a woman in WWE interact in this way, where they have legitimate beef with each other. It's never going to come to blows, but they're talking shit to each other. I thought that was tremendous because it really does show how high Rhea Ripley is on the pecking order in this company right now. She's not just a star. She's a mega star. She can talk to anybody and be over. It's just, I thought it was tremendous. And then Jey Uso shows up, and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Can they rehab Finn Balor?
They're on their way right now. The way this ended, they really are. And we're gonna get there eventually, but they're on their way right now with how they're presenting him. He's the leader of the Judgment Day. Clearly, I feel like his microphone skills have really picked up. He's done a lot more good than bad in the past several months. For a while, it sort of felt like he was waffling along, not really going anywhere. He never had the makings of a varsity athlete, but now he seems to be on there now. He's playing defensive end. I'll at least give him that. I thought it was great. It's Jey Uso time, and I'm just going to write this down. The yeet still ain't over with me when he finishes saying everything and they all scream yeet. That shit is not getting over with me. It's like the what chant. It was cute for about 2 months, and now it's just annoying as shit, and I wish they would all stop.
Don, they sold a lot of T-shirts off that yeet, pal. Yeet is neat. They sold a lot of T-shirts, pal. A lot of blue T-shirts. They padded his bank account nicely.
That's fine, but again, Stone Cold Steve Austin did a lot of great things in the wrestling business. He also did one horrific thing with the what chant. That's the one horrific thing he did that he gave us, that fans now can't help themselves. It's like a mental tick going off in their head. What? And now with Jey Uso, it's the same shit. Yee! It's a Larry the Cable Guy or one of those guys, Jeff Foxworthy joke. Yeet is a word in the South. Yeet yet? No, Jew. That's a word. That's a joke. Go look it up. I didn't make that up. When it got serious was when Bron Breakker got to the ring. Bron Breakker, I don't know if he rehearsed this, if he worked through it, but when he got to the ring and he started cutting his promo, I believed everything Bron Breakker said, and he said it with conviction, and he took some shots. You've been here for 14 years, haven't gotten a single title run singly as a singles champion. I've been here 6 months, and I've done more than you have. I didn't have to rely on my brothers or my cousins. I didn't have to rely on my daddy's name. I did it on my own. I didn't want to use my daddy's name. I thought this was absolutely fire. I can't wait to watch this. This is next week on Raw, by the way. Uso versus Bron Breakker. Now, you know this is going to be some sort of a screw job finish where there's going to be a DQ or some shit that's going to have to get moved to Bad Blood. It has to, right?
What would you say to the current bloodline interfering in this match?
Now, why would that
take
happen?
away that Intercontinental title victory from Jey Uso? They just roll in there and beat the hell out of both of them, if they can.
I don't know that that's going to happen. What would make more sense to me is a DQ finish because Bron Breakker feels like he's going to lose. That makes the most sense to me. What the hell? Hey, Denisha, thank you for the super chat sub. Your favorite girl. Yes, we appreciate your support as always, and the super chat is open. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. We've been going for half an hour on those bottles, and we still got a lot of show to get to. This ended with Uso responding, and he had a good response. I enjoyed the shit out of that. I thought it was great. Bron Breakker hit the ropes and got speared instead of spearing. I thought that was highly entertaining. Everything about it got my attention. I'm looking forward to seeing Jey Uso. This was the best promo he's cut in a long time at the end of this. If we can just quit screaming yeet like a bunch of chicken heads, I'd enjoy it more.
What's worse, the yeet or the what?
Both are equally shit. Both of them suck. The only thing worse is if somebody started screaming yeet and the other fans responded with what? Like, I'm changing the channel at that point.
Don't give anybody ideas.
I'm putting that in the ether. I'm putting that in the ether.
Yeet. What? Yeet.
Yeah.
What? Yeet. What? Just have the whole crowd go back and forth. I'll take up about a half-hour TV time. They'll tire each other out.
Oh, this was tiring me out. Thank you again, Denisha. We super appreciate you tuning in tonight. Iyo yells at Belair, and Iyo replaces. Who is it? She replaced it. Shit.
Kairi Singh.
Kairi Singh.
Because of her eye.
That girl jacked her head up so bad last week. It was insane to watch it again. They didn't show it a whole lot this week, though. They just showed the one picture where you could see just a little bit of blood. She really busted her ass open, man, like bad.
She did. I think it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, yeah. Well, we know it's a week ago now. She busted her head open. Yeah. So we're going to get that instead. New Day versus Judgment Day. And did you notice Xavier Woods came out in black colors? Same outfit, but he came out as the Man in Black. So sort of a foreshadowing there, if you were paying attention, that the heel turn is coming. The Man in Black is about to appear. Get ready for it.
Red herring, buddy.
It really was.
It's going to be a red herring. Kofi's going to turn on Woods with a new partner.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, have you heard? The Odyssey Jones is not fired. He's not fired.
He's just been removed.
He's been removed until they investigate the charges of domestic violence that have been held against him, because he was never arrested for domestic violence. So they're looking into it, and I don't know how long it takes to look into it, but they are looking into it. So he's off TV until, I guess, it goes away. I don't know.
Either way, New Day versus Judgment Day. Different colors, like I said. Kofi ends up hot dogging and diving on everybody outside. He's getting into a melee outside. Xavier is pissed. He goes out and gets the ref. He had the win. JP ends up winning. Xavier goes nuts. And I thought We have been saying this for months. Do something different. And just to clarify, nobody in the New Day was arrested. What's his name was pressed with charges again?
Odyssey Jones.
Odyssey Jones has not been released, but he's not on the roster. They were going to do something that way. Now they're going to have to pivot. But when they cut back, Xavier Woods is yelling at the LWO. We had E. Oh, now we don't have E, so now we can't do it on our own. I thought this is some of the best promo work Xavier Woods has done since he's been in this company. I took him seriously. He wasn't the trombone jackass throwing bootios in the air, flipping pancakes like a Waffle House waitress. This is what I like to see. More of this, please. Way more of this.
I say Big E comes back just to have a little sit down with those two, try to bring them together. I think that's going to happen. And then it's all going to blow up.
Yes, and Xavier Woods says, to hell with that. I'm going to beat your ass. It's go time. I don't like you, and you don't like me.
I think Kofi's going bad. That's personally my opinion.
I can't. The only way I want to see him flick pancakes is if they have like a Waffle House brawl like you see on YouTube all the time. Then you can start flipping flapjacks again. Give me a good old-fashioned Waffle House brawl with a bunch of drunks at 3 a.m. That's when you can flip some pancakes. Yeah.
Yeah, have Waffle House Wendy, that chick that swatted the chair out of the air.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have Waffle House Wendy there as the referee.
Which, by the way, rest in peace. Rest in peace to the Waffle House CEO. He passed away this past week. So,
did he really?
Yep.
So I guess
young
he's
guy
now
too. Was only in his 50s.
Scattered, smothered, and covered.
I'm not going that far. The Bronson Reed segment versus Strowman. This is when the whole show went into overdrive for me. You got two big bulls going at it. Bronson Reed gets thrown into the turnbuckle. They break the entire top rope. We got a big show callback, which I thought was great. Hasn't been done in years. You can believe with these two big bastards.
Tessitore sounded like he was having a heart attack when that rope
broke. God, it was great. And I keep wanting to mention him. Tessitore made you feel like this was coming on the whole time. He was like, oh my God. He's so buttery smooth already in this in just a few weeks. It's like he's been here for 10 years. He's just killing this out the gate.
Almost made it sound like they were going into business for themselves.
Yes. And then you get the choo-choo man gets out of the ring, and he's going to run at Bronson Reed. And then we get the moment that Bronson Reed chucks a fan at... Here it is. Yes. Go ahead. We're just throwing fans at each other. Oh, it was so great. So good. Just went and found a fan and said, hey, Strowman, catch this. It just didn't stop from here. Then Strowman tackles Bronson Reed through a barricade inside that little barricade area, tackles him through that.
Table. Yep. Boom.
They're pulling out all the stops. The security's out there. They get out to the back. Freaking Braun Strowman flips a golf cart over all the security guys. The camera goes amiss. Out of nowhere, Reed tackles Braun Strowman through multiple tables in the back. Reed gets up. Strowman tackles him through a fake wall, and shit falls everywhere. And they cut to a commercial like they have completely... Joe Tessitore was still talking, if you notice this. And they just cut him off. There was no, we're going to commercial, just nothing. You felt like in the moment they had lost total control of these two guys. Mm-hmm. I thought it was tremendous. It didn't give you the feeling of this is a tape show. We're going to go to commercial now. It was, and they're in the back and they're fighting it. Out comes the next commercial. I was like, oh shit, that was great.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
I thought it was, Don, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I thought it, like I said, it's like they went into business for themselves. They went rogue for a minute there and really have a lot of heated animosity towards one another. They made it look great.
And yes, the wall was totally fake. You could tell the wall was fake, but it wasn't overly fake. It wasn't overly fake. The only part they shouldn't have had was that 2x4 in the middle there. They should have cut that out. I don't know why they had the 2x4 sitting there.
They wanted somebody to do a Shockmaster right through that wall.
I was thinking the same thing when they went tumbling ass over T-Cuddle back there. Yes. Wall. Ludwig comes out and he asks about Gunther's challenger, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes out doing his best Mick Foley. I don't want to get too far into this. I don't need to see I don't need to see another Sami Zayn versus Gunther match. I just don't need to see it again already. We just saw it for several months. I don't want to retrace this, quite simply. I really don't. I don't know how you feel about it.
Put him back in a tag team with Jey Uso. Put him in a tag team with Jey Uso. Have them go after the Judgment Day for those tag belts. Do that. He's not going to get the Intercontinental title from Bron Breakker.
No.
That kid's got a death grip on that right now. Somebody big is going to have to take that from him. So I wouldn't be surprised if they save that match for like an upcoming big pay-per-view and have Cena on his farewell tour go up against Bron Breakker.
That would be cool.
Right.
That would be cool.
Right.
But I don't want to see. I don't
you
want to see
said
Sami
best
Zayn
time.
versus Gunther.
He's doing his dollar store Mick Foley routine.
That's what I said. What the hell?
Yes. It's the shits. It's too. Just go off TV for a while, Sammy. Take a month or two off, then come back.
And put him in
Form
a fresh
tag team
feud.
with Jey
'Cause this ain't it.
Uso. They can move you right back to SmackDown to help Roman out. Bring Jimmy back. Bring the Fat Man back, the Walrus, and have the new Bloodline versus the OG Bloodline with the original Tribal Chief. That's what they're going to do eventually. Why not just ramp it up and do it now?
Where the hell is Jimmy Uso, by the way?
Jimmy Uso was hurt. He's healed up now.
How hurt is
but they're
this
waiting
guy?
to bring him in. They're waiting to bring him in. They signed this kid, Hikuleo, whatever the hell his name is, a 7-foot-tall Tongan who is going to be hooked up with the new Bloodline. They signed him up in June, I believe, and they just haven't debuted him yet. Rumor has it he's coming in a Bad Blood in Atlanta on this next pay-per-view to stem the tide of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. So, have you heard the rumor? Have you heard the rumor about the new Bloodline?
No, we can talk. Well, what is it? What is the rumor?
The rumor going around, the scuttlebutt is that Solo Sikoa is going to lose every match that the new Bloodline is as a cumulative group of guys.
Build up,
And
yes.
Jacob Fatu is going to be so pissed off. He's going to turn on Solo Sikoa and usurp the Lola Falana necklace from Solo Sikoa, and he's going to be the new tribal chief of the new Bloodline. Hikuleo, Tamatonga, Tongaloa, Tonga Depressor. They're going to bring in a new guy, Tonga Depressor. He's coming in. And that's what they've got going on.
Everything you just said makes sense, and I want to see Tonga Depressor. I want to see that as the new Bloodline member.
Depressor, yes.
I want to
He's tall
see
and thin.
Tonga Depressor.
Tall and thin, pal.
Holy shit,
That's
that's so great.
Tonga Depressor.
Oh, God, if you don't get it,
And then
kids, just wait a minute. It's called a way homer.
Solo Sikoa is going to be the odd man out of the whole thing. The Rock's going to come in, and he's going to be the guy behind the new Bloodline and tell him, Solo, you're out. You fucked everything up. You can't win a match. You're out the door. So he's going to be basically the man without a family.
Good for him.
And
I like that.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Damian Priest talks and Liv Morgan interrupts. What's with the women and the men interacting? I was like, all right, I can get with this. Like, and then the thing that got me was Damian Priest is talking shit. Where was this guy when he was the world heavyweight champion? Where was this natural flow of his verbal skills? Completely missing for 3 months, and suddenly he's cutting the best promos of his life. It's so bizarre to me.
Not a good heel, but a good baby face. A good badass baby face.
I guess.
There
By the
you
way,
go.
thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the notifications button, or also known as the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. Super chat is open. You got something to say, let us know. Belair versus Iyo Sky.
Yes.
This match had no business being this good. I thought it was really good. The dive out of the ring by Iyo Sky, the cross body, I legit thought somebody got hurt on that shit. That was great.
Iyo Sky's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Not just a man or a woman. One of the best wrestlers in the world. And Bianca Belair is, I mean, she could go pound to pound. Phenomenal. She'll go toe-to-toe with anybody in the WWE and put on a great match.
I was shocked at how good this was. The even bigger shocker was Iyo Sky won. Who the hell had that on their bingo card? Because I sure as hell didn't.
I thought it was going to be, I thought Belair was going to win. I said when it was being set up backstage, when she challenged Bianca Belair, I said, they're both baby faces now, sort of.
Right.
So how's this going to play out? It's just going to be a squad. It'll be an entertaining 5-minute match, and then Bianca will pin Iyo Sky. I had no idea that was going to happen. So.
I didn't either. I was shocked. So I enjoyed that. We get the American male segment. American maid. Sorry, American
males.
Slam your grandma. Slam your grandma.
I guess they'll come back. You never know. I mean, they're both in good shape now. Scotty Riggs, everybody.
I like the American Maid segment myself. I thought it was entertaining as shit. I enjoyed it. They're moving on apparently from the Wyatt Six or something. I'm not sure. They sort of got that over. Like, we're moving on from the idiot dead people or whatever. I don't know where it's going.
Did you see, Don, on Smackdown, when Nick Aldis was backstage talking to someone, I forgot who he was talking to, the Wyatt Six insignia was on a trunk right over his left shoulder.
I didn't notice that. I'm glad you did.
Yes. Someone put that on Twitter, and I said, "Well, son of a gun, that's it."
Good placement.
Maybe they're going to flow over to SmackDown. Who knows?
We then got the Ludwig versus Sammy next week announcement, and then we got Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio. Damian Priest wins. Of course, we knew that was going to happen. And then he promptly gets the shit kicked out of him, which I thought for sure Jey Uso was going to come down and save the day. No, we get Bron Breakker getting revenge from earlier and spearing the shit out of him, which leads to Rhea Ripley getting her ass kicked. Dominic Mysterio laughing at everybody, making fun of Rhea Ripley when she was down. I thought that was cold. And then we get like 5 of Finn Balor's finishers on Damian Priest. Like we said, making him a star, making him matter again. I thought this Raw episode was great. I think I said earlier it got what? What did I say the ratings were earlier? I can't remember now.
1.6.
I think it was 1.6 or 1.5. I can't remember now.
1.5.
It was a pretty good show. 1.5. Yes, it was a pretty good rating. I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a hell of a show. Bravo. Yeah. Keep it up, because we're still.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, what are we? 2 more Raws away from going to. Or is it 1 more Raw away from going to October's show? I think it's 2, though. Yeah, it's 2. Because it falls funny. It's the first Saturday in October. We do have some news we want to get to. Specifically, we want to talk about some major backstage news on AEW and some of the ratings issues that they're having right now.
I've got a picture of a new member of the Bloodline coming in.
Oh, God.
Tonga Depressor. There he is.
Get out of here.
Look at that guy.
Jesus.
Tonga Depressor. Look at the neck.
That guy would snap like a twig on the first suplex.
Oofa.
He is literally bones and skin.
Tonga.
There's been a rumor that is floating the internet all day that makes you very happy. You have believed it. You said it's definitely happening. There is a rumor out there.
A Jim Ross Missy Hyatt sex tape?
No, it is not that.
What?
The rumor deal is 4 years, 3 being guaranteed with an option year for $170 million a year for 2 shows. That is the rumor that somebody put out there, and everybody ran with it. And every neckbeard under the sun is posting it on everything they can, screaming, Tony got the bag. I can't say that $170 million is terrible, but I can't say it's great either if you're doing 2 shows. That's just my opinion. I don't know what the deal is. That's what's being rumored right now. I know that SmackDown got like $270 or $280 a year, $280 million, and Raw got like what, $500 million a year for their show and the TV. Sorry, and the PLE. Right, so
Netflix 10 years, $5 billion.
Yeah.
SmackDown, a $1.4 billion deal, $1.4 billion deal, spread out over 5 years for SmackDown. So that's $500 million a year for Raw, $287 million a year for SmackDown, and NXT is going to the CW for, and I said 35, you said 25 weeks ago. You were correct, $25 million a year. So CW is getting a deal, $240,000 an hour, to reach between 650,000 to 700,000 viewers for NXT. Now think about this. $240,000 an hour, it's a 2-hour show, that's $480,000. This guy broke it all down by the hour. $480,000, not even $500,000 for a year for NXT for 700,000 viewers. AEW Dynamite is sub 700,000 viewers most of the time.
It is now. It has been.
Yes. You think they're going to get more than 500,000 a year?
Here's my issue is that
you think they're going to get not 500,000 a year. Hang on a second. You think they're going to get more than 25 million a year for those little ratings? Okay, there's 2 other shows involved. So I can see how they would get it. I don't know.
I don't think we're going to see
million,
all those
90 million a year. I wouldn't pay them 110 million a year.
Look, You've got a network.
Look, who's reporting it? Don't know. Sources. Who knows? What are the sources? No one can pin down what the actual sources are. Insiders say when Dave Meltzer comes out with this, when Sean Ross Sapp announces it, that it's done. It's a done deal when it's in Variety, the Hollywood Reporter, the 2 main rags of the entertainment industry. Then you could say, okay, this is happening. This is true. Tony Khan loves to make all these announcements, all these special announcements. Hey, I just bought a new Chihuahua. That's his big announcement for Rampage. Come on now. Hey, I got a trunk full of White Claw. I got a glove box full of white powder. That's his big announcement for Collision. If they had a new TV deal signed, he would be all over that. And he would be in the hospital in traction because he tried to suck his own piece.
Hey!
I said peace, pal.
Don't go there.
You know
Thank
how
you, Motorhead, for the super sub, $5.
Thank you, Motorhead. Thank you, sir. $5? Now I get that 6-pack of Busch Light I've been crying for.
Damn right. Not if I beat it to you first. So here's the thing. We know, based on what Tony Khan put in his own report in Vegas, allegedly it was $5 million for talent for that week, right? If you remember that expense report for the PLE that they did out there. For the 2 or 3 shows they ran, it was $5 million. How many weeks are there in a year, Bottles?
52.
52. So that would mean that their talent is costing them, what, $110 million a year, roughly? Is my math mathing?
That's close. That's close. We're not going to.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but
we're not going to distill it down to the actual pennies and nickels. But yeah, it's close.
Sorry, $260 million. My math is way off. If that's true, then it's $260 a year, and that can't be right.
$260 million?
50. Well, it's 52 weeks in a year, right?
Hang on a second. Let me get my abacus out.
Maybe it was $2 million for the talent that weekend.
I think
that's what I think it was. I think it was $2 million, but it was like $110 million is what it worked out to.
$104 million. If it was $2 million, a show.
Something it was like 2.5 or something like that. It worked out to where we did it a few months ago. It was $100 million or more, something along those lines. So they get $170 million a year.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm not going to try to get too far into this, but even at $170 million a year, I don't see how they'd be making money with all the production values, unless that's tied into it. I'm not going to get any farther into it. That's all I'm going to leave it at. That's what's been rumored. That's what's being said. I'm just saying. And you can look it up yourself if you don't believe us. Tony Khan filled out the Las Vegas information for when they did the PLE. He filled out all the forms. It's all there in broad daylight. The talent cost was like $2 million or $2.2 million or some shit like that. You can look it up. That's what he said it cost him for the week. So if it cost him that for 1 week, multiply it by 52. It ain't that hard to figure out. I think it was like $110 million, like we said. So, but that's not the
average hour. The average hour of AEW programming is worth in the range of $825,000 per hour, which works out to $4.1 million per week or $215 million a year. Now that's just the $825,000 per hour is what I would assume all their production costs are, like we just said, per hour. So the 2-hour Dynamite, it's over $1 million.
So yeah. So I'm not going to try to get too far into it. I'm just reporting what was said. I'm just saying what was said. I'm not going to get that far into it. My biggest issue is they can't keep rolling Rampage out there the way they're doing it right now. This show has been dying a slow death now for the past year. And when is it time to just formally admit the expiration date on this show has passed? And we need to go ahead and kill it off and go in a different direction and focus on something else. They have done 300,000 viewers just a handful of times. They haven't done 300,000 viewers since July 5th. Everything else has been in the 200s. Sorry, July 26th, they did 300,000. Sorry. Excuse me.
What about Friday? What about last Friday?
Last Friday, they did 233,000 viewers. The Friday before that, they did 218,000 viewers. It's just, they haven't done 400,000 viewers on this show since having their special on TBS. They're not doing it. It was on a Wednesday, by the way.
There's tweets on Twitter that have more views than Rampage.
There
it's
are.
Not good, Don.
And we've seen
it's not good, Don.
I don't.
When do you take Old Yeller out behind the barn and put a bullet in its head?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why does this show even come on anymore? Do you realize that I went back and looked at this? The first Rampage that they had did a 740,000 view. The next one was CM Punk's debut. They did an average of 1.29 million. This was only 3 years ago, Bottles.
I think you hooked this cart to the wrong horse, Don.
You think maybe?
The cart to the wrong horse. Yeah.
Denisha gave us a super chat earlier, so I'll put her up here. Don and Bottles, why did TK spit on Swerve? They didn't have enough money and they broke when spend too much on talent. Question thought. That's sort of what's been going on. I saw a little article about that, is that they feel like he's really overspending on some of the talent. I don't know how much of this is. Well, I don't know how much of this is true. I read that there was a rumor going around that WWE was feigning interest in people just to get him to spend more money. So I don't know how much of that is true. I know Swerve is a hell of a talent. I'm sure he's going to get a big bag. I enjoy watching Swerve. I hope he comes back better than ever. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion.
Exactly. He's one of the guys that good worker, despite all the hardcore garbage. He's a good worker. He's starting to come into his own with the promos, the dancing gimmick, the dancing manager.
I don't mind that. That entertains me. I'm sorry, I don't mind that.
It actually got him over. It's got the whole act over. It got Swerve over. The dancing manager that got people interested in him doing his thing, coming out there when he was a heel, of course. And he's one of the few guys I would keep in AEW if I had to go and cut costs. Dark Order.
Why are
Adam Cole. Here? Adam Cole will be gone. Britt Baker, she'd be gone. Who else can you get rid of there? You get rid of a ton of people. You can get rid of half that roster. And it is what it is. Don, Rampage is not in the proposed New Deal.
That's what they apparently keep saying, is that Rampage will not be part of the New Deal. That's what I keep reading over and over and over again.
Now, that's just what I keep hearing. A long time ago. We heard that a long time ago before summer, that they were going to give them the same amount of money for Dynamite and an hour Collision. And they wanted to move Dynamite to Mondays and have it be a 3-hour show. That's where a lot of scuttlebutt happened, where people are talking to Tony Khan about, would you be able to put it on a 3-hour show? We could do a 3-hour show. Yeah, that's no problem. We could do a 3-hour show.
Please don't do that. I wish they would take Raw back to 2 hours and keep it there. Raw should be 2 hours and keep it there. We've read and heard that Raw will no longer be 3 hours. It will be 2 hours plus until the show concludes. Like, I think the goal is 2.5, and then it ends when it ends, versus trying to make it go that extra whole half hour. So we'll see about that.
Let's talk about the third show for Fox. Shockwave, AEW Shockwave. When Tony Khan said, because he's got a lot of Australian talent, and he said, someone came to him and said, why don't you run shows in Australia? It will go over just as well as it does in Wembley. So the schmuck puts a lease out. He rents out the, the Sun Drop? What is the Sun?
I don't know.
It's a 52,500 seat arena, stadium, that he's going to throw an AEW show in. And he's going to do that in the middle of February. Then he realized,
I don't have any TV.
We don't have any TV in Australia. What the hell? And the only way to watch it in Australia, they don't have TNT is an actual station in Australia, but it's owned by a different company. Same initials. They've licensed the letters TNT and that branding for it's some sort of I think it's some sort of educational channel or wildlife channel or something in Australia. I'm not too sure about that, but it's not Warner Brothers Discovery TNT. They don't have TBS. You have to get a VPN, which is a virtual private network. You got to pay money for that and stream it through your Hulu or your YouTube TV or whatever to see American TNT and TBS to watch AEW Dynamite. Now, the pay-per-views are offered. You can get the pay-per-views, I guess, on your cable system down in Australia, worldwide, but or stream it through Triller TV if there's still one there. Or what's the other one? Bleacher Report. That Warner Brothers.
Bleacher Report still does it, yes.
Bleacher Report still has those pay-per-views, but they have no TV. So he said, "Let's see if we get on ESPN." So he shopped an hour-long show to ESPN down in Australia, and they didn't bite. They didn't like anything about it. So he said, "What am I going to do?" So he went to Fox Sports 1 Australia. This isn't Fox Sports 1 in the United States. This is Fox Sports 1 in Australia to try to get an hour-long show on Fox Sports 1 in Australia. And my theory is it's going to be Dynamite highlights. That's all it's going to be. They're going to edit it, put it on Fox Sports 1. They're not going to absorb the production cost for a brand new show down there. They'll just trim Dynamite up. And, he could really trim Dynamite up to about a 15-minute show as far as I'm concerned. But that's what you got. Everybody's talking about it's going to be on Fox Sports 1 in this country.
Shockwave.
Shockwave, everybody. Shockwave.
Shockwave used to be a roller coaster here in Virginia, believe it or not.
Yes,
so that's the first thing I thought. Yes. Stand-up roller coaster. Dominion?
Yep. Ride the Shockwave.
The other part about this whole thing is Collision ain't doing too well either, Johnny Bottles. Collision's not doing real well in the ratings. They did 268,000 this past week, 157,000 last week, 289,000 a week before, and then a couple of 400 numbers.
You said they did 268,000 this week, this past Saturday?
268 this week and 157 last week.
Sunday afternoon, Alfred Kunoa. I think I probably just butchered the guy's name. He's got Pro Wrestling Bits as a YouTube channel. He's a writer for Forbes. He's a stand-up comic also. And he's starting to interview people like Chris Van Vliet. He's starting to interview people on his YouTube channel. He said in a tweet Sunday afternoon, "Man, I just saw the overnight
I saw that.
for Collision. Yikes! I'm not going to put them up because I don't need anybody crying. I don't need any neckbeards threatening my life. But those are the Fast Nationals, which does not have the DVR numbers in it or any streaming numbers. It is strictly what's on your cable.
Right.
So watch live." So apparently it got boosted up a little bit to 268,000. They waited to come out with that. So it would have the streaming numbers, the DVR numbers in there. It's still horrible. It's still horrendous. Just take those shows off the air. They don't serve anybody. Not at all. Personally, what I would do is I would covertly I'd shut down the Ring of Honor website. Nobody's watching that. I would take the Ring of Honor talent and slowly slide them into Collision. So you'd have the first hour of Collision would be like it usually is. Second hour would be Ring of Honor talent only, defending Ring of Honor belts. Nobody's watching it anyway. So why not do that?
No, but there's nothing about Ring of Honor that I care to ever see again. It's a dead brand. It means nothing. There's and I get tired of hearing this from the neckbeards. It's a dead brand for a reason. No one watched the show. No one cared to watch the show. That's why it went off the air. That's why you can't see it anymore. You can sit here and scream for whatever mountain you want to. It was great wrestling. It was so cool. It might have been cool 15 or 20 years ago. It has been a worthless shtick for the past 5 or 6. That's why it's dead and off television. That's why nobody wanted to sign it. It's worthless. It has no meaning anymore. It has no value. That's why he can't get it on TV. That's why he can't get a contract for that show, because no one cares. It's meaningless. Means nothing.
Listen, you hear that?
Neckbeards crying?
No, that's a million neckbeards throwing Mountain Dew cans against their wall with their orange fingertips saying, "I hate Don Wayne. I hate Don Wayne."
The truth hurts. Get over yourself. I don't know what this new contract's going to look like. The rumor, like I said, was $170 million over 4 years, 3 of them guaranteed. I can see that being in the realm of possibility. I'm not going to go out of my way and say there's no way. But we're going to see. We're going to see. I enjoyed talking about that. You gotta get rid of Rampage. You have to get rid of Rampage. It's going nowhere. You're not gaining anybody. It's a waste of time, and you're putting it on after 2 hours of Dynamite on Wednesday when the fans are leaving, so the building looks even more empty when it goes on TV. It's just not a good look, man.
An empty building's no fun, Don, but
anyway, I know you've got a couple news tidbits you wanted to get to. I want to talk about this real quick before you get to yours. So start pulling up what you need to do. Saturday night's main event, as we talked about last week, is returning. They're even bringing back the nostalgia songs that go with it. And the first one is going to emanate from Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island. They're going home to have this show. I'm pretty excited about this because we noticed there was no PLE in December. We talked about this several months ago and said, that's not making a whole lot of sense. Why is there no PLE? And then as the time came, we were like, wait a minute. Don't they have a contract guaranteed with NBC for 4 prime time events every year? This is how they're going to do it. Saturday night's prime time. I'm really looking forward to the return of this.
All right, pump your brakes a minute there, pal. You know who came back into the family, as they say, into the WWE family, a guy who came back from yesteryear.
Who?
He's a movie actor. I ain't got time to bleed. You know who I'm
talking about?
I
keep hearing Jesse the Body's going to be on this show as a guest commentator for a couple of the matches.
Please don't say that. Please don't say
That's what I keep hearing. Well, look, you're going to have to get him, but you know where he is, don't you?
What?
He's down at the Baja. I'm down at the Baja all the time. I'm in the Baja.
He's smoking peyote down at the Baja.
He might be. That was my big news on that. There was also a change backstage this week at Raw as writers for the promo segments were internally listed on the run sheets for the show. So I guess that allowed the wrestlers to go talk to them, say, hey, what are we doing here? It says in the past, no writers were listed internally. So I guess they're doing that. So, hey, if you got something you want to change in what you're saying, go talk to the person directly and see if you can work with them. I thought that was a really good idea.
Did you see at the end of Smackdown, sir? At the end of Smackdown, they had executive producers, Chris Lentil and Paul Levesque.
Did they really? They had them listed?
Yes, they did. There was a blurb at the end of Smackdown, executive producers.
I did not notice.
That's going to be a thing. I did not stick around to see the credits at the end of Raw. I'm sure it was at the end of Raw also. So, and I like what they do. They have a little bar of the commentators and the announcers, backstage interviewers at the beginning of the show. When the show starts, they'll let you know who's all there. After the first 15 minutes, after the first quarter hour, when they come back from a commercial break and they're talking, they don't even mention it. It just comes up on the screen. Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett, Jackie Redmond, Kathy Kelly, and Brandon Saxton.
Okay, cool.
Bernie Saxton, whatever. Don, let's do a little rapid fire right here. I'm going to give you a few news tidbits that you didn't see, and you tell me what you think of this. According to Conan, who's good friends with these guys.
Oh, boy.
AEW is accused of using negative leaks to tarnish the Lucha Brothers' reputation. They're not being used. They're not re-signing. They're moving over to the WWE.
Allegedly.
But until then, well, it's got to be, pal, because they're backstage leaks are killing these guys' reputations. Oh, we're not going to NXT. They're not going to go to NXT. They said they didn't want to do that bullshit. And they both said, we'll go to NXT. We don't care.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't care that he is or not. Like, it doesn't bother me. Once you start that kind of stuff, it just doesn't bother me. You see this kind of shit all the time when people leave. The worst is the fan base that when they go to the different company, how could you do this, you traitor? I don't care that Ricochet went to AEW. I hope he betters the product, quite frankly. I hope he does something creative in that company and shows me his mic skills are legit. Because right now, when I saw him in WWE, he didn't impress me. Go do something, learn a new hold, impress me. I want to see him get better. I want to see him grow.
Well said, Don. Well said. Tell me what you think about Jim Ross. He's in the news. He said he disclosed that Netflix did not reach out to him for the Vince McMahon web series. Ross said he knows every dirty secret about Vince, which is why he was surprised Netflix did not contact him. He said this on Grilling JR while he's sitting there with that hunk of man, Conrad Thompson.
I don't know why he would say something like this. You could have left it at no, they didn't reach me for comment. I don't know what that has to do with anything else. Like, that just doesn't, I don't know, just, it sort of sounds like he's got an axe to grind to me. That's just how it came off
Jim
to me.
Ross?
Yeah.
He's probably pissed off because he wasn't asked, because he doesn't feel relevant. He's not relevant anymore. He's not relevant on commentary. He's not relevant for anything. Maybe as a talent relations guy, he's relevant, but he's just, he feels like he's overlooked. He's not given his due, so to speak. That's what I think. Of course, nobody's kissing his ass in AEW anymore. They bring him in once on the pay-per-views for a match, and that's it. He announces to like the main event, and then he doesn't know who the hell's wrestling.
By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button, the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling.
How many times do you think he says, "Good God, we hired Mantor," when he's watching an AEW show?
I don't think the last time I heard him commentate a match, it was just, JR, I love you, pal, but you got to know when to hang it up.
Doesn't know when to hang it up, dude. Scott D'Amore, who used to be the head booker of TNA Impact Wrestling, has now opened up his own wrestling promotion up in Canada where he lives. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is going to have their inaugural card soon, very soon, sometime this month.
I've heard about this.
And his girlfriend, Giselle Shaw, who was in Impact, TNA Impact, whatever you want to call it now, a subset of the NXT division, I guess. She quit. She just finished up with TNA Impact, and she's moving up to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, and going to be a star up there to be with her man. So
good for her.
Good for those two, and they'll fight over who's going to have the peach lip gloss.
You have that. Go right.
I know I was going to sneak that in, pal. Giselle Shaw. Look her up on Wikipedia.
Don't look her up. Don't look her up. Let the man be at peace. Let the man
Which
be
man?
at peace.
Which man?
Moving on.
Moving right along. There's a new T-shirt. I want you guys getting paid. Pablo the Real One, thanks for the $4.99, boss. I want you guys getting paid. You guys thought about doing YouTube shorts from clips of the live shows. I've heard shorts increases eyes for more subscribers. Well, you know, I had on a pair of shorts the other day, and my wife said, take those off. They're too small for you. Oh,
you're right, though.
Cut it up into shorts. Clips,
we do need to do shorts. We do need to do them. I just don't have time. This is the one time a day I can get away and do this. I appreciate it. I don't know if we could get anybody else to do it. I swear, if somebody's interested, let me know. DM me. I wouldn't mind at all letting somebody try that, see how it works out. Bottles has wanted me to do this for a while, so I think I'm going to start raging in the cage, so to speak, on the way to work and going off if I see something that pisses me off on Twitter. So I might start doing some 30-second to minute shorts on that when I'm just thoughts with Don on the way to work, such as, why is Tony Khan such an asshole all the time? Why can't he just be normal? Why can't he give me a show on Wednesday night that doesn't insult my intelligence just one Wednesday as a fan, to where I've got to see Pockets or one of these other dipshits come out there, have a make-believe match, and fight,
what are you giving it
I
all
don't know,
away
on a
for?
bicycle.
Don't give it all away free. God damn you, Don. Pablo, your idea is fantastic.
It's a great idea.
Just fantastic.
And you're not intruding. We appreciate the thought. We have thought about it. If I can get more time, I will.
Right. Don, I got to show this to you. I know you're going to buy this shirt. That's a new shirt. AEW Shop. MXM or M by M. I don't know. It's Mansoor and Mace. The guys who were maximum male models.
Get that out of here. I got no
Touching tips. They're actually selling this for $30.
Get it out of here. I don't care.
Touching tips. Who's going to wear this? Who's going to wear that?
I don't know. Same guy that wore Big Black and Jacked. They thought that was a great marketing ploy.
They thought it was fantastic. Have you heard about the stalker stalking RVD and his wife?
I have heard about this.
He had to file charges with the FBI and give them all the evidence, which has not been released yet, about a stalker troubling both him and his wife, Katie Forbes. And so that's a legit thing going on right now. Well, a legit thing. And Don, coming to...
oh, boy.
Don, I just want to show you a little something right now. This is a little something that's going to be coming on the next Dynamite.
Jesus. Oh, we're doing the bag everywhere, huh? Now everybody's getting choked out by the bags again.
You saw what he did? He tore a hole in it. Pretty easy to tear a hole in the bag, pal. The bag's not made out of burlap.
Why are all the commentators mass goofs now? Why is
That's
that?
Evil Uno. That's Evil Uno down there. You know who Evil Uno is, right?
It just keeps getting worse. Bottles,
it's
I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. I want to say, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I am out of ideas. I am out of thoughts, and I am out of water. What I do want to say, though, is I've got an idea for next week.
Can I finish here?
You're done.
I'm not done yet. I got one more piece of business. Jey Uso wants to officially form a tag team with Sami Zayn. He said, I know we hated each other on screen, but we really love each other in the back. It just came off on TV so organically. You'll have little glimpses of me and him on Raw, but man, I really want to go like full-blown tag team with him and try to see how that goes. One of the best times of my wrestling career was that bloodline with Sami Zayn.
Next week, might have to do something a little bit different. I'll be out of town next Thursday. Won't be back until the weekend. I think next week, Bottles, it's time. And I want to put this out there to the chat. And if you want to, have us do it, please put it in the comments after the show is done airing. Watch along next week for AEW's big pay-per-view that they put on TV for free, because that's next week.
The Grand Slam is next week?
I think so, yes. So I think that's the direction we're leaning. We'll be back Thursday to cover all things AEW Dynamite and talk about all the shit that goes wrong, because it will be a plenty. Bottles, that's really all I got today, pal. Do you have anything else?
I've got one more thing. Saraya is not a fan of Mercedes Moné either. She's right in the same camp as Britt Baker.
I've heard.
Mercedes Moné has her own entourage and private locker room at every show. And
here we go with this.
They've been informed that Britt Baker's also having issues behind the scenes, with Mercedes Moné being a major source of frustration. I think it's pretty mysterious that she was not on Dynamite last week. Neither was Baker. That weekend, a few days before that Dynamite, at All Out, there was a big backstage fight. That's
allegedly
called in.
Allegedly, the neckbeards swear it never happened. It never happened.
They swear it never happened. It's been tamped down. It was so earth-shattering that Tony Khan appeared at the media scrum for only 30 minutes with no talent accompanying him to his segment of that show. So I think it sort of rocked him to his core. And I think maybe, just maybe, somebody took a swing at Mercedes Moné and connected. That's what
I don't know about that. I'm not going that far.
If it looks like she's got a broken nose or a black eye when she comes to TV tomorrow.
I don't think we're going to see that.
You don't think so?
I am.
She's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Well, I am looking forward to watching this shit show tomorrow. They've got some problems backstage. I got to sort it out. You know who would not put up with that kind of shit backstage? What the hell were you
throwing?